Joining me now from Tel Aviv is retired four-star General Jack Keane, Fox News senior strategic analyst and chairman of the Institute for the Study of War. General, always good to have you with us today. Let's put this map up, everybody, so we can take a look at the area of these Russian fighter jets and where they entered Estonian airspace. And General, also just this afternoon, the Polish border guard reporting that a pair of Russian fighter jets are performing low passes over Poland's Baltic oil platform in the Baltic Sea. We know Swedish jets also entered that region to ward off Russian jets this week as well. So I'll ask you the same question I asked President Trump. What is Putin doing?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. There's a couple of things happening here. Well, first of all, these are all Eastern European countries. And every single one of them has punched over its weight in terms of assistance they're providing to Ukraine. Why? They're motivated significantly because they know they could be next, and they lived under communist rule for 45 years. They got the picture. They know what's happening here. So that's one thing. The second thing that's really going on, they're testing their responses. But the major strategic objective that Putin has here with this harassment is he really wants them to look inward. In other words, NATO take a look at itself and say, look, we got to do more to protect ourselves here. And we can't just be providing all the support for Ukraine. We got to make certain that we have our own support here, that we pull back some of the things that we're given. That's the real purpose behind this, is to undermine NATO and the European support for Ukraine, and have them question that support in view of the rise in tensions that he's presenting to them. Is Putin going to do anything in the near term in terms of crossing that border and getting into a war with NATO? I doubt that seriously. But this is his strategic purpose, and he's pretty good at playing these kind of hands. How do you deal with this stuff? Who likes to throw his weight around? You confront him. And if they can continue to violate sovereignty and airspace, you shoot at him, and he'll stop. He doesn't want to go to war with NATO, believe me.
So, with regard to what President Trump was talking quite a bit about yesterday, was this cutting off of energy, Russian energy that is still being bought. It's mostly LNG purchases, liquid natural gas purchases by a lot of countries in Europe. And he's saying, why are they funding the war this way? So Ursula von der Leyen, the EU president, said this morning. Watch.
Russia's war economy is sustained by the revenues from fossil fuels. We want to cut these revenues. So we are banning imports of Russian LNG into European markets. It is time to turn off the tap.
But it's not going to happen until 2027, General. What's your take on that?
Well, first of all, let's applaud President Trump for putting his foot down here. Something that should have happened right after the war in Ukraine started. And look where we are now. And finally, somebody's putting... The Europeans tried to have it both ways. We're going to help Ukraine, but at the same time, we need Russian energy sources, and we don't want to hurt our own economy. And I think that was a strategic mistake from the outset. This is being corrected. It's going to take a little longer to get all the teeth into this that it really should have, but this is a good start, Martha. And give credit here where credit is due to President Trump for lowering the hammer on them.
Yeah.
So more to follow, for sure.
England doesn't do this, but I think it was a very strong message yesterday during that press conference. I just have to go, but I want to ask you really quickly, because you're in Tel Aviv. I know you spoke with Netanyahu. What can you tell us about this push into Gaza City before we go? And we'll talk more about it next time, General.
Yes, certainly. It's got to be done. Hamas, we've got to take them out of control of Gaza. There's no other way to do this, and hopefully Hamas, once they realize that Netanyahu is dead serious, that they'll release the hostages and cut some kind of a deal. If Hamas goes, Netanyahu's already said he's willing to pull his IDF forces to the border. He doesn't want to sit on top of the Gazan people. He wants somebody else to come in and work the governorship from that and possibly do some other things in terms of restoring Gaza or relocating the population. A lot of possibilities here. First thing, take Hamas off of the governance and control of Gaza. It's got to be done.
General Keane, thank you very much. Always good to see you, sir.